Here, the story, fifth, The Girl with the Paper Stars. In a quiet little village tucked between the hills and rivers of Southeast Asia, there lived a girl named Lina. She was 8 years old, full of joy, curiosity, and dreams far too big for her small home. Every night, Lina would lie on the bamboo floor of her family's house, looking through the cracks in the ceiling, hoping to catch a glimpse of the stars. But the sky had been cloudy for many nights now, and the stars had disappeared. Her father, a fisherman, had gone out to sea and hadn't returned for days. Her mother worked long hours, selling sticky rice wrapped in banana leaves at the market. Their home was worn and weathered, but Lina never let sadness stay for long. That night, she sat quietly by a flickering candle and picked up a scrap of old newspaper. Her tiny fingers folded it gently, crease by crease, until it became a star. She held it up to the candlelight, smiled, and tucked it into her pigtails. "If the sky forgets its stars," she whispered, "I'll make my own." And so, the girl with the paper stars began to light her own sky. The next morning, Lina ran to the old Bodhi tree at the center of the village. A tree the children called the wish tree. Its roots twisted like the stories passed down from their grandparents, and its branches reached high into the sky. With a short piece of twine, Lina tied her paper star to one of its low branches. "I wish Papa would come home," she said out loud, eyes closed, heart full. Tom, a shy boy from her neighborhood, stood nearby, clutching a small rock in his hand. He watched her curiously as she tied more stars to the fence posts and bamboo stalks along the path. Some of the other children giggled. "There goes the star girl again," one of them teased. But Lina just smiled wider. "Maybe if we hang enough stars, the sky will remember us," she replied, skipping down the dirt path. Tom didn't say anything, but something about her made him follow, quietly, always just a few steps behind. By sunset, tiny paper stars fluttered gently in the breeze, turning the village into a galaxy of hope, stitched from scraps. That afternoon, the wind changed. The sky darkened to a heavy gray, and the first drops of rain fell like warnings. A storm had arrived. Lina and her mother rushed to shut the wooden shutters as thunder cracked across the sky. Water leaked through the roof. Their clothes, their rice, even the floor, everything was wet. Outside, Lina's paper stars were soaked, torn from their strings, scattered into puddles. Her mother sat down beside the cooking pot, quietly weeping. The weight of days without news, the burden of worry, had finally spilled over. Lina sat beside her, wordless for a moment. Then she picked up a damp newspaper, tore a corner gently, and began to fold. "They look fragile," Lina said, "but they hold big dreams." Her mother looked at the little paper in her hand and smiled through tears. That night, by the flickering candlelight, the two of them sat together on the floor, folding stars in silence, not out of sadness, but out of strength. The next day, something had changed. Children from the village began stopping by Lina's house. Some came with old receipts, others with torn notebook pages. All of them wanted to learn how to make stars. Lina showed them how. Her fingers moved quickly, fold, pinch, crease, done. She taught Tom first. He struggled with the folds but didn't give up. The tree that once held only Lina's wish was now full of stars in every color and size. Paper stars dangled from bicycles, clotheslines, and fruit carts. The village, once quiet and gray, began to shine with color. A kind teacher from the school gave Lina a stack of used notebooks. "You've given the children something to believe in," she said softly. One afternoon, Tom came and hung a bright yellow star next to Lina's on the tree. He didn't say much, But in that quiet gesture, she understood. He believed in her. The stars were no longer just her own. They belonged to everyone. One evening, the village fell silent. News had arrived. A fishing boat had capsized near the coast. Names were whispered like prayers, and one of them was Lina's father. Her mother didn't confirm it, didn't deny it either. She just folded rice cakes in silence. Lina wandered back to the Bodhi tree. The wind was stronger that day, tugging at the stars, pulling them away. She didn't fold a single star. For the first time, she felt like maybe her light wasn't strong enough. Tom found her sitting under the tree, her eyes fixed on the branches. He sat beside her, quietly, then placed a blank piece of paper in her hand. "It's empty," Lina said. "So are the stars," Tom replied. "That's how they hold our dreams." She didn't fold the star that day, but she held the paper tightly, and somehow that was enough. The village elders announced a festival, not to mourn the lost, but to honor them. There would be lanterns. Lina had an idea. With coconut shells, old candles, and wax from broken crayons, she and Tom created floating lanterns. And on each lantern, she glued a paper star. The children helped. The mothers helped. Even the old carpenter with trembling hands helped. On the night of the festival, the river glowed. Hundreds of lanterns drifted downstream, carrying paper stars like tiny dreams sailing toward the sea. Lina stood beside her mother, hand in hand. Tears shimmered in her mother's eyes. "Maybe Papa will see them," Lina said softly. Her mother kissed the top of her head. "I think he already has." After the festival, the old carpenter knocked on their door. In his hands, he held a small wooden box carved with stars and moons. Inside were folded notes from the villagers, each one a thank you. "Your stars helped my daughter sleep again. You reminded us to hope. You made the sky come home." Lina's eyes filled with tears as she hugged the box tightly. That night, she lay beside her mother and whispered, "Maybe Papa saw the stars we sent him." Her mother didn't speak. She only held Lina close, her tears silent but filled with love. Weeks passed. The stars kept multiplying, and the sky remained heavy. Then, a letter came. It was from a hospital in a faraway coastal town. Lina's father was alive. He had been rescued. Lina sprinted through the village, the letter clenched in her fist. Her voice rang through the trees. "He's alive! Papa's alive!" The next morning, a shape appeared on the dusty road. A thin man with sunburnt skin and tired eyes. But he was smiling. Her father. He dropped to his knees and held up something small, a crumpled paper star, water-worn and faded. "I kept it in my pocket," he said. "When I drifted in the waves, I held on. I knew you'd be waiting for me." Lina ran into his arms, and the stars above finally came out again. With her father home, Lina's dream grew even bigger. They cleaned an old shed near the school. With bamboo mats and wooden benches, they turned it into something new, the Star School. Here, Lina taught other children how to fold stars, but also how to fold feelings, stories, and memories into paper. "This one is for my grandma," one boy said. "Mine is for when I feel scared," another whispered. A government official visited the village and saw the magic. He promised to build a real library beside the Star School. Lina's paper stars now flew beyond the village, into schools, hospitals, and orphanages. From torn paper, she had created a constellation of healing. Years passed. The little girl with paper stars became a young woman. Her eyes were the same, wide, bright, full of hope. On a quiet evening, she walked along the old village path, leading a group of children behind her. She still wore a paper star in her hair. At the Bodhi tree, now grown older and stronger, a mural covered its base. A little girl with pigtails, releasing stars into the sky. One child tugged her sleeve. "Teacher Lina, why do you love stars so much?" She knelt beside him, smiled gently, and said, "Because stars never fade. Even when we can't see them, they're always there, just like dreams. And the stars above, and the ones in her heart, kept shining."